You're training harder than ever, eating cleaner than your 20s, and following every piece of advice on the internet. Yeah, you'll still start looking and feeling exactly the same as you did 6 months ago. Here's the brutal truth most fitness gurus won't tell you. It's not your genetics, it's not your age, and it's definitely not because you need another bloody workout program. I'm Alderton, ex-British Army, 26 years lifting weights, and I've helped thousands of men over 40 transform their bodies. I've watched blokes make the same mistake over and over again, and it's costing them years of progress. The real reason you're not progressing after 40, you're still thinking like you're 25. Right, let's get one thing straight. Your body didn't suddenly become broken the day you turned 40, but your approach to training and nutrition is completely fucking wrong for where you are now. Most men over 40 are still chasing the same goals they had in their 20s. Six-pack abs, bench pressing double body weight, looking like a Men's Health cover model. Absolute bollocks. You're scrolling through Instagram seeing some 25-year-old influencer with perfect lighting and a pump, thinking, that's what I should look like. Meanwhile, you've got a mortgage, kids who need to drive to football practice, and a job that actually matters. But here's the mental trap you're falling into. You're using their timeline, their methods, and their definition of success. You're trying to train like someone who has 3 hours a day and a personal chef, when you've got 45 minutes between work calls and whatever's left in the fridge. Here's what actually happens. You set these unrealistic expectations, fail to meet them in 8 weeks, get frustrated, and quit. Then you start the cycle all over again with the next shiny program. Sound familiar? Here's where it gets worse. This mindset trap doesn't just waste your time, it's actively sabotaging your progress. Because when you're constantly disappointed with your results, you start believing the lie that you're too old or past it. And once that belief sets in, you're fucked. So what should you be focusing on instead? Not vanity metrics that don't mean fuck all in the real world. Here's what actually matters after 40. Number 1, energy levels. Can you play football with your kids without feeling knackered? Can you get through a full day without that 3 p.m. crash where you're reaching for your third coffee and contemplating a nap under your desk? I'm talking about waking up at 6 a.m. and actually feeling awake, not like you've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I'm talking about getting home from work and still having enough energy to engage with your family instead of collapsing on your sofa like a deflated balloon. Number 2, strength for life. Can you carry your shopping without your back screaming? Can you get off the floor without making those weird groaning noises that make you sound like a rusty gate? This isn't about deadlifting 200 kilos to impress some 22-year-old at the gym. This is about being able to move furniture when your wife decides she wants to redecorate. It's about picking up your toddler without throwing your back out. It's about not needing help opening a bloody pickle jar. Number 3, consistency over intensity. Are you still training in 6 months, or did you burn out after 3 weeks trying to be a hero? Most blokes think they need to train like they're preparing for SAS selection. They go from doing nothing to smashing themselves 6 days a week, then wonder why they feel like shit and quit. I'd rather see you do 3 decent workouts a week for a year than 6 brutal sessions for a month. The tortoise beats the hare every single time, especially at 40. Number 4, recovery quality. Are you sleeping better? Waking up refreshed instead of feeling like you've been hit by a bus? Your sleep should be getting better, not worse. You should be waking up feeling restored, not like you've gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. If your training is making you sleep worse, you're doing it wrong. This is the stuff that actually improves your life. This is what makes you feel 10 years younger. When you can chase your kids around the park without getting winded, when you can sleep through the night without your back aching, when you can have consistent energy throughout the day, that's when you know you're winning. But here's the thing, nobody talks about this because it's not sexy. It doesn't sell supplements or get clicks on YouTube. You can't post a before and after photo of I sleep better now. You can't flex your improved energy levels on Instagram, and there's no hashtag for I can tie my shoes without groaning. The fitness industry wants to sell you the dream of looking like a Greek god, because that's what gets you to buy their shit. But what they're not telling you is that chasing those vanity metrics after 40 is like trying to drive a Ferrari through a school zone. You're using the wrong vehicle for the wrong environment. The blokes who actually succeed after 40, they measure progress differently. They celebrate being able to play with their grandkids. They're proud that they can work a full day without needing a nap. They're chuffed that their wife notices they're standing taller and moving better. That's real progress. That's what actually matters when you're building a body that serves your life, not just your ego. Now, here's where most blokes get completely lost. You're drowning in information, but starving in wisdom. Every day there's a new study, a new supplement, a new breakthrough method, and you're trying to implement all of it at once. Monday, you're reading about intermittent fasting. Tuesday, some guru is telling you carbs are the devil. Wednesday, another expert says you need to eat carbs for optimal testosterone. Thursday, you discover cold plunges are the secret secret to longevity. Friday, you're convinced you need to track your sleep stages, your HRV, and morning glucose levels. By Sunday, you're so confused that you don't know whether to eat breakfast or skip it, whether to do cardio or lift weights, whether to take ice baths or saunas. I see this constantly. Guys come to me with 47 different apps on their phone, tracking everything from their heart rate variability to the colour of their piss. They know more about macronutrients than most nutritionists, but they can't stick to eating protein at every meal. They can tell you the exact optimal protein synthesis window post-workout, but they haven't been to the gym consistently for 6 months. They know all about circadian rhythm optimization, but they're still scrolling Instagram at midnight. Knowledge without implementation is just intellectual masturbation. Here's what's really happening. You're using research and learning as a form of procrastination. It feels productive to read another article about the latest training method, but it's actually keeping you from doing the work. And the fitness industry loves this. They keep pumping out the new information, new studies, new revolutionary approaches because it keeps you buying, keeps you clicking, keeps you consuming instead of doing. But the fundamentals of getting in shape haven't changed in 50 years. Lift weights, eat protein, get enough sleep, move your body daily, be consistent. That's it. That's the secret sauce. Everything else is just noise designed to make you think you need more information before you can start. The truth is, you don't need more information. You need better information. You need the right information for your specific situation as a man over 40. You don't need to know about the latest biohacking trends some 25-year-old influencer is pushing. You need to know what actually works for a man with real responsibilities, limited time, and a body that's been around the block a few times. You don't need another study about optimal rep ranges. You need a simple, sustainable approach that fits into your actual life. You don't need more apps to track more metrics. You need clarity on what actually matters and what's just a distraction. And that's exactly why I put together something that cuts through all the noise. Because after working with thousands of men over 40, I realized the ones who actually succeed aren't the ones with the most information. They're the ones with the right information applied consistently over time. They've stopped chasing every new trend and started following proven principles. They've stopped trying to optimize everything and started focusing on what actually moves the needle. And that wisdom, that comes from the right sources, not from Instagram influencers or supplement companies trying to sell you the latest miracle cure. It comes from people who've actually done the work, made the mistakes, learned the lessons, and distilled it down to what actually matters. That's why I spent over a decade curating the most important books every man over 40 should read. Not just fitness books, though they are in there, but books on mindset, business, relationships, and life philosophy. Books that will transform how you think about your body, your goals, and your potential after 40. Look, you can keep doing what you're doing. Keep following random YouTube videos and hoping something sticks. Keep starting over every few months when the latest program doesn't work. Or you can do what the successful men do. Feed your mind with the right information first, and your body will follow. 40 Books at 40 is the exact reading list that's transformed my life and the lives of hundreds of my clients. This isn't motivational fluff. These are the books that turn average blokes into exceptional men, physically, mentally, and financially. And it's yours for free. No catch, no shipping fees, no bollocks. Click the first link in the description right now, download 40 Books at 40, pick one book, start reading it tonight. Because your transformation starts in your mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.